This is Action Force Central right here. All right, so here's some more cool stuff from the office. This is the library, or you know, where I keep, you know, a lot of comics, a lot of trade paperbacks and things like that, and also my trading card collection. You know, collect everything. So just cool stuff. Again, Azrael Batman, probably one of the coolest versions of Batman. So I love that. Up there we got some Plasm uncut sheets. For those of you that don't know what Plasm is, I'm gonna give you a little history lesson here because it was awesome. Plasm was this series of cards that came out in the 90s, I think it was 93, and you bought the trading cards to make the comic. So you put it in this binder and you made the 0 issue of the comic. Now this is my original one that I collected. And I collected every single one of these cards. They've been in here since 1993. And then I even met Jim Shooter, the creator of Plasm and the writer of the issue. Got him to sign this for me. So this is very cool. But it didn't last long, and you know, it wasn't like impactful in the comics, you know, world. But to me, it was so cool and innovative that they would make a comic book out of trading cards. So, you know, stuff like that, you know, innovative stuff like that is what I try to bring to Action Force and then all the toys that I create, because it's just cool, man. Stuff like that is really fun. So who knows, maybe one day I'll do an Action Force, you know, trading card line that, you know, makes a comic. So we'll see. When you want to blow off some steam, play a little T2 arcade, or throw some darts. So this is like the game room over here. And then let's see who we got. Oh, got the office mascot. This is Van Zan. He has been with me since I had my office in the basement of my house, starting Action Force and Valaverse very early on. And then he came to the old office, and now he is here. So I'll come say hi. There he is, my bearded dragon. When I got him, he was about the size of his head. Now he's that big. Right, big guy? All right, more toys over here, some Black Series. A very kind of important line in my toy career, even though the line didn't do well, but I'm a big UFC fan. When I was at Jazzwares, they had just gotten the UFC license, and I got to do the first UFC line. Jax had done one years ago, but this is the first one for Jazzwares. And I was so excited because I got to go to my first UFC event, you know, when I was at Jazzwares. Very, very cool. But this is the first line of figures, 6 figures. Cowboy Cerrone got a variant. And what I've been doing is I've been little by little trying to get every single one signed. So I sent these to Cowboy Cerrone. He signed those for me. I got Daniel Cormier to sign that one. I just sent my John Jones figure to get signed because he's doing a signing, and I was able to sign, get my figure there. So then I just have to get Max Holloway, Conor McGregor, and Khabib. So those will not be easy to get. But one day I will have all of them signed. Up here, my second favorite wrestler, Ultimate Warrior. So these are all the Mattel figures that they did. I got an LJN in there, some Jax, some Hasbro, some weird, odd import figure up there. But Warrior was the man. You know, while I am a Stone Cold fan, he's my #1. I was a Warrior kid growing up. So when he beat Hogan, man, that's what we're talking about. All right. So now this, all you guys, when you place your Action Force orders, this is where it gets done. This is where we fulfill all the orders. See, I got my workers hard at work over there, packing up your orders right now. So everything comes in. We stock up over here. Then we fulfill all the orders, label them, send them right out the door to you guys. Now, Series 4, very exciting. It's going to be here very soon. Maybe once this video goes up, it'll already be here. But this room is going to be filled with boxes for Series 4, and I'll have my whole crew coming in here, getting your orders out the door as quickly as possible. But yeah, so now you guys kind of get to see the operation. So make sure you say thank you to my crew for getting your orders out quickly. They're great. They work really hard. All right, so now I'm going to take you to our warehouse. All right, so here we are at the Valaverse HQ warehouse. This is where we keep all the treasure. Let's go. So, like I was saying, we moved into a much bigger office because we got so much more product coming in. You guys are ordering so much. We need room to house it all. Now, this is where we house all of our products. So, as you can see, we got all of it here, and this stuff flies out the door. We're constantly getting boxes out of here, opening them up, packing them up. And in just a few days, this room will be filled to the brim with Series 4. So we had to clear a bunch of space and reorganize some things because, again, there's gonna be so much Series 4 coming. It's gonna be so high and fill this whole room. So it'll be very cool to see that. So one thing that I know you guys are gonna get excited about, this is my archives. This is where I keep basically at least one case of every item that we've ever done. So there's some stuff in here that you guys are gonna be like, whoa, you still have a case of that? Like Infantry Commando and Blowback, you know, things that we've had sold out for a long time, you know, I keep here. So that's it. I also keep, you know, fun stuff like, you know, like when I get like packaging samples that I have to approve, I keep those. That box says error figures. You can probably get error figures. Well, every now and then you get a figure that's packed upside down or backwards, or sometime a figure is in like a Condor and a Bone Collector box or something like that. And I got a couple cases of those error figures, which is very cool. Weapons pack Gulf spelled wrong. It should be golf. So some of these, you know, rare error ones. But yeah, this is the warehouse. So again, I'm really excited to see this room when it's all filled up. But now you guys get to see the behind the scenes of our warehouse and what it looks like. And now we'll go back to the office. All right, this is something that's very cool in Valaverse HQ. This is something I wanted to do at the old office and never got a chance to. So I said, for the new office, definitely needs to be here. This is a map of Action Force around the world. I wanted to, you know, get a map where I can, you know, start putting pins in and showing everywhere that Action Force has been shipped to. So this is everywhere that we have shipped product to out of Valaverse on valaverse.com through the Kickstarter, etc. So this map shows that, you know, we have the whole world here. We have every state in the United States having Action Force product being sold to. We have a ton in Canada. We have a ton throughout the rest of the world. I believe that we've sold to 43 different countries. So it's always cool when we sell, you know, an order to a new country and we get to put a new pin in. But it's really starting to branch out, and it's definitely cool. We've sold to, you know, 6 out of the 7 continents. I'm hoping that, you know, somebody lives in Antarctica that wants to order some Action Force, because it would be great to put a pin in Antarctica as well. But it's still really cool to be able to look and see, you know, the effect that Action Force has had on collecting and the toy community. You know, and that this map really like represents like how wide of a reach Action Force has. So it's cool to come in and see this and see like what we've built and you know, where we've been able to spread the brand to. So it's not going to stop. We're going to be filling up that map with a lot more. So let's finish up this tour. We're going to go to the coolest room in the whole entire office. So get excited. This is the war room. This is the Action Force conference room. Could have a bunch of names, but this is Action Force Central right here. I had a room similar to it in the old office, but this one is like the celebration of everything Action Force in here. Everything that I've built with this company, all of our products, lives right here in this room. This is probably my second favorite room in the whole office. So when I'm not in my office designing, I like being in here, whether it be reviewing samples or doing the 3PO8 podcast or, you know, watching UFC with Tony in Australia. But this place is great. So over here we have every single item that we've put out so far for the Action Force line. So it starts with Series 1 over here, Series 2, SDS, Series 3, more SDS, over to Series 4, and then Series 5 down there, and Legend of the White Dragon. So this is cool to like see it all. You know, it's like there are times where, you know, I forget how much stuff we've done, and I look and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And in just a few short years, you know, it's been a great journey, wild ride. You guys have been awesome. Couldn't have done it without you guys. But it's great. It's great to come in here and see everything. And, you know, also, you know, got me thinking like, hey, how many items have we put out? And, you know, we might be doing a little series about this coming soon, but we are almost out 100 items. So ever since Series 1, we're very close to putting out our 100th item, and we might be building towards something very, very cool. So stay tuned for that. But this is all Action Force. Action Force Championship belt, Steel Brigade helmet. This thing is very cool. Maybe one day we'll make Steel Brigade helmets that you can wear, you know, so if you guys want that sort of thing. Some more artwork over here. This is, you know, a lot of the comic covers that have been done. So like that's Randy Green's cover for the trade paperback. Robert Atkins, a few covers from him for issues 1, 3, and 4. Florencio does these great digital character pieces. His artwork is fantastic. You know, he does stuff, and I said I have to get posters made up, and I said I want those all over the conference room. So, you know, having Bone Collector stare you down when you come in the room is very, very cool. But yeah, his work, really awesome. I love having it here. This down here is probably like that toy overflow room. This is something that you guys, if you came in here, you would dive right into. This is just nothing but samples and figures and weapons and just stuff. There's probably some rare stuff in there, some prototypes, but this is kind of like when I'm reviewing samples. You know, you get so many samples in. I do it in here, and then they kind of go in bins, and I look over stuff. You know, it's also like, you know, if somebody's missing a weapon or a weapon breaks or something like that, we want to be able to, like, you know, get that part out to everyone. So I kind of have, you know, all the weapons and stuff in their own little bins, so I know where to find everything. So it's like my own armory in here. But yeah, this is probably something you guys would want to, you know, get into. Over here, it is slowly taking shape. This is the Vanguard section. This is very cool to actually see in here and come to life. The Vanguard, as you guys know, is coming soon. Pre-orders are opening up soon. We have the Vanguard in production now. But it was a huge undertaking, but it was something that, you know, started out as a joke. For those of you guys who have been following, you know, me and Valaverse and the podcasts I've done, you guys know that, like, it was a joke trolling me about, hey, when are you doing vehicles? When are you doing vehicles? And, you know, I knew I was going to do vehicles one day. I just didn't know it would happen this quick and be as impactful as this vehicle is. So down here, you kind of see where it started, this foam core model taking shape of what I wanted the vehicle to be. And it just wasn't there yet. And then, you know, I was watching a show and I happened to see this real world tactical vehicle called the Rezvani tank. And I said, that is what I want to be in the Action Force line. And I reached out to them and I said, hey, I got this little toy line. How would you guys feel about letting me put your vehicle in it? And they loved it. And, you know, we worked out a partnership arrangement, and now here we are doing the Rezvani tank, which is now the Action Force Vanguard. And here's one of the first test shots in this funny blue color. Every time you get test shots, they just run whatever plastic they have on hand. And it just so happened they had a lot of blue that day. It makes you wonder, like, what toys were they running for whatever other company that day or had on hand that then made your test shot. So stuff like that I love. I love, you know, the inner workings of it. You know, getting the physical sample, seeing all that behind the scenes stuff is, you know, sort of my favorite part. Here we got production samples. There's the Vanguard driver called the Reaper. Boxes that they come in, label sheets, you know. So hopefully I'll flesh this out a bit more. Right now it's just kind of thrown together, but you know, it'll be cool when we finally get the final packaging and I can, you know, make this look a bit prettier. But right now it's still just cool seeing a vehicle, and a vehicle as big as the Vanguard. This is the war table. You guys saw it in the old office. I had this table custom made, and it's a good one. So it's got all these shells in it, which were all fired by me. So kept my brass, and I said I want to make a table. And that's the war table. So you guys have seen it. Very cool piece. If you get a peek of that, you might see my con schedule coming up. Over here we have the same vest that Tim Kennedy wears and uses, and this is you know, I got all the gear that he wears that is on his figure. So I wanted like the recreation of it, you know, in the office, which I thought was very cool. What we got over here? This is the Kickstarter exclusive poster that I did for, you know, the people that backed the Kickstarter. I think it was like the first 100 or something like that. That was a piece done by me. I normally don't like my artwork, but you know, I thought it was very cool. You know, it highlights the brand pretty well. Up here, very awesome piece. This is the Warpath Eclipse painting that is on the side of the box. This is done by a very talented artist. She is over in Russia. I contacted her. I said, I love your work. And I said, could you do my character? She did, and she was gracious enough to send me the original. So that's a very meaningful piece because I love that character. I love that figure, and you know, her artwork is fantastic. So it's cool to kind of come in here and look at that. So got some party beverages if you get thirsty. My in-laws got me a very, very special thing when I started the company, a nice Valaverse decanter. So, you know, when I started the company, and it also has some Action Force glasses right there. So tend to use those when we celebrate big milestones and stuff like that. Here's some cool little trinkets through the company. I did, you know, these poker chips for Joe Fest one year as an exclusive. So, you know, I do have Terrificon coming up, and that's at a casino. So I have to do something like this again. That was pretty fun. Me and Sarge with his figure. These are very cool. I forget the gentleman's name, but I will find it and I'll post it. He did these. He posted them on Instagram. They're these little like painted wood figures, and I thought they were so cool and so unique when I see people doing stuff like that. And I was at a convention in Maryland this year, and he gifted those to me, and I was like, that meant like so much to me that he did those and then gave them to me. So I said they have to have a place in here. So thank you for doing those. I love stuff like that. Guys, you make stuff, you know, fan-made stuff like this, you know I'm always going to put it out. I love it. This is cool. This is called the Kuma Protector. This is a knife that was designed by an individual that I found on Facebook, and I asked him if he would be open to letting me put this knife in the line. And if you guys know, this is the knife that Pandora has on her back. This is also the same knife that appears in the comic, and it might be the same knife that was used to give her her scars. So it's cool when you can, you know, implement real world stuff into figure form. Me and Tim Kennedy, when I went up to Texas, there's some of the shells that he fired, you know, when we were filming that stuff. So that's always cool, you know, to have that kind of stuff. And then last, two of my favorite pieces, we have this painting. Well, not painting. I drew this digitally, but this is Pandora. Probably my favorite picture of her. And no, it's not because I did it. Again, I really don't like my art, but there was something about this, and she's my favorite character, and this was, you know, on the bloody Pandora packaging. So I thought it'd be cool for her to, you know, stare right back at you when you come in here. So you got Bone Collector looking at you over there, you got Pandora looking at you over here, so you know not to mess around when you're in here. And then last, we have a piece by Randy Green. Randy Green is, some of you may know, very, very popular, fantastic comic book artist. I contacted him when it came time to do the packaging for Series 3. And he, you know, he does great women, and he nailed it with the Series 3 characters. So I have all the artwork that he's done, and I decided to frame Pandora to go with Bloody Pandora. So, all right, so that is the Action Force War Room. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it in here. Definitely a cool spot, and, you know, seeing the celebration of Action Force and what it has become. And again, it's all because of you guys. So